Okay, I want to take a couple minutes here to talk about grading as it pertains to productivity and vice versa. One of my beliefs, having taught now for 17 years, is a grade is not a measure of intelligence. It's a measure of one's willingness to work. Okay? And the educational research, for one, tells us that any individual can do very well at mathematics. It takes two things, time and effort. All right, so the myth that some people are just good at math or just bad at math is exactly that. It's a myth. The educational research out there does not support that theory. Okay, so that being the case, this particular class, your grade will be determined based on whether you get things done. Okay? And in my grading scale, or in the grading scale of this class, you'll notice you will get an A, a B, or a C, or an F. There is no such thing as a D on this grading scale. And the grading in productivity is done pretty simply. Okay, to get a C in this class, a student will have to average 3 items completed per week, plus 100 minutes of Khan Academy during the marking period. Okay, and Khan Academy can be done at any time, at any place, on any device. Okay, to get a B, a student must average 4 items completed per week, and then their 100 Khan Academy minutes. To get an A, it's 5 items completed per week, plus 100 minutes of Khan Academy time. Okay, and so you'll notice here I've got a little chart, and based on the number of weeks, now the first marking period, actually the first marking period is technically 9 weeks, but because of the short weeks at the beginning and so on, we're going to treat the first marking period as an 8-week marking period. So what is that going to take? Well, for an A student, somebody who wants an A, they need to get 5 things done per week, so that's 40 items at least, and then their Khan Academy minutes. Somebody who wants a B, 4 items per week will be anywhere from 32 to 39 items in the marking period, and then C students, their 3 items per week will be between 24 items and 31 items. So those are the ranges, and so here's your 8-week marking period. The second marking period is a 9-week marking period, so here are the numbers that adjust to 9 weeks. And then the third and fourth marking periods are 10-week marking periods, and so the number of items needed in those marking periods are adjusted accordingly. Now, an item is anything that goes into the gradebook that you receive credit or a grade for. So when you take a test, you take a quiz, you do an assignment, you do a Big 4, which Big 4s are our warm-ups that we do. Anytime a grade or a score goes into the gradebook, that is an item. Okay, so when you look at, and unfortunately I know this screenshot is pretty small, but as I look through here, okay, I'm going to highlight everywhere that there is a grade. You'll notice this person, and this is credit. Okay, so anywhere that there is a grade or a score, even this F here, it's the student did the assignment, in this case the quiz, they received some sort of credit for it. All of these things here are things that this individual, okay, received credit for. They received a grade for. Okay, so these are, if I were to go through and add them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. So everything that this person earned a grade or credit for, here's a couple more. Okay, down here there's another one. If I go to the next page, this is actually the second page screenshot. So any of these things here that they received credit for, okay, those are items that that count into their total. Okay, so very literally, at the end of the marking period, I will go through and I will count up everything that they received a grade for, and I will apply it to that scale that I showed you just a second ago. Now these things here, incompletes, those do not count in the total. So if I go back to the previous screen, this incomplete up here does not count. All right, so, and I'm going to go through, and very literally here, let me go through, I'm going to count them out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. The next page gives me 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, so this person completed 27 assignments. Again, I'm not counting the greens because those were incompletes and zeros. So if I go back to my scale, this individual, if it were the first marking period, which was 8 weeks long, and they did 27 items, they would be in this range, so they would earn a C, assuming that they complete their Khan Academy minutes. Okay, so, and again, so it's all going to be based on a scale of productivity. Okay, so now the marking period, the PowerSchool, I should say, does require some setup. So you will see grades calculated using these weightings in PowerSchool as we go along. But at the end of the marking period, I will reset those grades. I have to set it up this way just because of the way PowerSchool works. And so you will see grades going along based on these weightings. But at the end, I will go back to this chart, and this will determine whether you pass or how you pass or don't. Okay. Again, Khan Academy, for those people who have never been on Khan Academy, it's an online thing. I will prescribe a mission for students to work in. They need 100 Khan Academy minutes during the marking period. If they don't get those 100 minutes in, they will lose 1 letter grade. So an A goes to a B, and so on. Okay, it's not an A to an A minus. A becomes a B, and so on. This should be very doable. Last year, I required actually 20 minutes a week. 20 minutes times 9 weeks, that's 180 minutes. So this is actually a reduction. I want to put more emphasis on the classwork, less emphasis on the Khan Academy, although Khan Academy is really, really good. One other thing, a 98. Okay, so 98 minutes, for example, is not 100. Okay, those are not equal. So anybody short of 100, even if it's 99, will receive a 1-letter grade reduction. You must get to 100. And that's it. That's how grading will be done in this particular class. And around the semester time, I will, or not semester, the midterm time, I will start making notations into PowerSchool of people who might be off track and so on as time goes along. So I just throw that in there. So if you have any questions about grading and productivity, that is the basics of how we're going to be dealing with productivity and grading in this particular class.